In this video, we're going to review the performance of the DEKALB 113 to 117 day SmartStaX hybrids. This is Chris Kallal, technical agronomist for DEKALB Agro in West Central Illinois. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but in my personal opinion, I think this is where the meat of the lineup is at in the DEKALB SmartStaX portfolio. We've got several high caliber options to consider here in this maturity. We've got 6390, 6434, the brand new 6464, 6594, and 6617, and then a brand new 6737 with an honorable mention to 6487. This right here is why I say this is the meat of the DEKALB SmartStaX portfolio. This is the yield benefit each individual hybrid has over competitive rootworm protected hybrids. This is a 3-year summary of the greater West Central Illinois geography. 6390 posted another great performance year here in 2020. We've generally always positioned this hybrid on the average to the better soils because the stability graph has always looked like this on this hybrid. It has a tendency to get better as the yield environment climbs. 6464 had a stellar introductory year in my personal opinion. We rolled this out as a potential replacement for 6434 and suggested that you position it on acres, much like we've used 6434, those average to better acres to capitalize on the high yield potential that these genetics offer. And that's exactly how it performed this year, and that's what we saw out of it as an experimental as well. 6594 showed a pretty similar trend, but I think what we're used to seeing out of this set of genetics, that it has pretty strong performance under lower yielding environments, but as the yield environment climbs, it becomes a little bit more common. I think the one thing that differs this year is that this blue line is now below that dotted line there in the middle. And I think that's because we've brought out some other products that are outpacing it and pushing down the overall performance of this product. 6617 had another strong year, outpacing 6434 slightly. And this is the typical trend that we've seen out of this set of genetics that generally broad acre adaptability, but do get a little bit more common as the yield environment climbs. Here we're taking a look at the stability graph for the brand new 6737 stack that came into the lineup. I would say this too did exceed expectations this year. It performed a little better than I had anticipated it would. While it does suggest that it does have pretty good broad acre adaptability, I would encourage us to use this hybrid on the average to better acres to take advantage of that raw yield potential. This hybrid does offer exceptional plant health as well. So here's the entire DEKALB SmartStaX portfolio from 108 day all the way to 117 day, pitted against 6434. Again, anything above horizontal center line would be yielding more than 6434. The hybrids listed below the horizontal center line would be yielding less than 6434. Moisture is graphed on the other axis, so anything left of vertical center line would be drier than 6434, and those right of vertical center line wetter. The majority of these hybrids are multi-year comparisons, while some of them like 6464 and 6737 and 5864 would only be 1-year comparison because they're brand new products in our commercial testing this year. I made the honorable mention of 6487 earlier in the video. I did that just because it continues to perform exceptionally well versus 6434 and takes stress better than 6434 does. So that's why it's really stuck around in the lineup for certain geographies in the state. I'd like to call your attention to the fact that almost every new hybrid that's been launched the last 2 years is performing at equal to or better than performance to 6434. There are no SmartStaX products that were launched in either 2019 or 2020 that are omitted from this list. So all of our new stuff has been performing at high levels. In summary, as we look at 6390, its 2020 performance proved that its performance in 2019 was not a fluke. It is top 6434 2 years running now. I would encourage you to place this hybrid on average to better soils to take advantage of that high yield potential that it does have. It does seem to handle wet feed exceptionally well too. 6434, probably not much needs to be said about it. It is still carrying the mail for us and doing a great job in the lineup. Honestly, I'd say 6594 had a little bit more of an off year this year. But as we look at the data, it wasn't all that much behind 6434, which is exactly how it's performed for years. It provides excellent plant health and good stability across yield levels, but a lot of our newer stuff is starting to outrun it. And as much as it pains me to say that, I've always liked this set of genetics. There are a lot of other options coming into the lineup that we could utilize in the place of 6594. 6617 came in again, just slightly better than 6434 on average. But I think a lot of that's coming from the fact that 6617 is handling some of those tougher acres better than what 6434 is. I would suggest that we utilize 6617 on more of those average to tougher acres and utilize other hybrids like 6390, 6464, or 6737 on the better acres due to the higher yield punch those hybrids have. Just looking at the new products, I would say both of them did exceed expectations this fall. Specifically 6464, I would place it on the average to the better acres to take advantage of that high yield potential that it's got. It does offer better emergence and less green snap risk than what 6434 has had. I would also say that it may not quite have as much stay green or intactness in the fall as what 6434 does and what we've come to appreciate with 6434, and it is a little bit more susceptible to southern rust than 6434. 6737 really surprised us this year. It would be disease shield for us if it wasn't for the 5 rating on Goss's wilt, so it is an exceptionally healthy hybrid, and we did definitely notice that this year. It is a taller plant with a little bit higher air placement, but it's got a very good stalk under it and good grain quality. Again, plant this on the average to the better acres to take advantage of its raw yield potential. Thanks again for your time and attention. I hope this was worthwhile for you. If you have any follow-up questions or would like further information, please don't hesitate to reach out to your agronomist or your FSR. Have a good day.